We are on our way to North Beach. Our first attempt at van life. Haha, cement exit. Camping essentials.
I saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew that I could feel this way, and it's kind of strange.
Look, there's a sign.
Yeah.
Side are we in?
We're in 158.
But I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. You say that you're from out of town.
Let's see, how do we open this thing again? This one?
Yeah.
Damn. Camper's all set up. 2 hoses are connected. 1 hose, 1 cord. I mean, I don't know what to do now because there's nothing else to set up.
Cool.
What are we having for lunch?
Tuna fish.
Sweet. So, Amy, all this stuff that you ordered on Amazon, is it gonna fit in your van? Huh?
My bath mat does, so.
I do like the bath mat. That was my idea. Look at that.
That's perfectly. This does not. Which is a shame.
And this is for what? Silverware?
Yeah.
Oh, we're taking it. We just put it in the box. So Amy said this keeps a whole loaf. Let's try it out.
It does.
Look, she got me a Keurig. That's beautiful though, right there. And some cool. What do you call this? These
for
things.
the wall.
These things will light up. And containers, bins. Check this out. This is a sandwich maker. And we're trying to go with this color here, whatever this color is. Teal?
Yeah.
You got this one too. So, yeah, we got a trash can. We got this thing that fits, this tote right here that fits in the middle. So, yep. It is 500 degrees here in Florida today.
Feels like it.
So we decided to go to the beach, of course, where it's 600 degrees.
At least the wind blows there.
We've had no windage so far.
Not yet.
What'd you say?
Hit it again.
Say hit me baby one more time. Hey guys, welcome to another Tate's Travel video. Recently, Amy and I decided to trade in our 27-foot Freedom Express camper for a 2022 Thor scope. That is an 18-foot travel van.
It's not very easy for us. We looked at a lot of different models, from a Class C to a Class B plus to a Class B. And ultimately, we decided to go with what we thought would fit best for our needs, and that was the Class B.
I mean, we went back and forth, and we finally ultimately decided on the van. Let's talk about the cons. Really, there's more pros than there are cons. So I would think the number one con would be the cassette toilet for me. I don't know what yours is.
Mine is the space. Really having to minimize where you put things and how you put them into the van to make them work for you, so that you have everything that you need. That is probably my biggest, but we kind of knew that going in. It's just a matter of really finding cubes and things. Amazon was my best friend to really be able to find the things that we needed to make the space efficient.
Yeah, and for me, the cassette toilet, I really wasn't keen on that because you don't have a black water tank. All you have is a gray water tank, and you have a freshwater tank. But the black water is in a tiny little plastic box under your commode. So more than likely, we're probably only going to use that for emergency situations, and we'll have to use the public restrooms, which Amy and I are usually in the Freedom. It's real easy. We had a big bathroom in it, and there was no problem dumping it after we were done camping. So to me, that's one of the cons. But I think I can get past that once I learn, how to do it, the process of it, and I think it'll be alright after that. But
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple models that Thor had to offer in this 18-foot van. One was the Model T, which actually didn't have the wet bath in the back. It did have more storage space, and it also had a pop-up. But we ultimately decided to go with this model because there are a couple of features that we really liked that we'll get into in the pros in a minute.
yeah, and our first camper was an R-Pod. It was only 17 foot long, and that's including the tongue. So it was small. We had to learn how to consolidate, minimize what we brought with us, storage-wise and things like that. So we're kind of back to that R-Pod type camper with the van. However, again, like Amy said, that's something going into it. If you buy a van, that's what you're getting into. So there are a lot of YouTube videos and shows and different websites out there that can help you, come up with some great ideas on how to do that. And I think we'll learn eventually how to do that. But I actually like the smaller space, so I don't know if you do or not.
Yeah, I actually do, for what fits the kind of camping that we do, which is we use the camper mostly just to sleep in. Outside of that, we're always on the go. A little bit of ADHD, and so I can't sit still. I don't like to stay in one place. So when we usually are out in the camper, we're hiking, we're, floating down a river, we're, taking our electric bikes out. We're always on the go. So for us, it made the most sense.
Yeah. I think the third thing would be probably, I'm a little bit leery about the generator. The gas generator hangs a little bit low. I know a lot of people have gotten, Amy said she did some research to do 3-inch lift kits, but then the warranty, it's a brand new van, so they don't warranty that. So that might be an option for us later on down the road to do that. Maybe some, all-terrain tires, it just depends. I don't know. We haven't really done a lot of traveling. We're here at North Beach in St. Augustine just for the weekend, just to kind of get acclimated or get familiar with the Aloha, the scope, and just kind of see, all the crap that Amy bought, if it actually fits. So all of it didn't fit. So some of it was left at the house. And then so we're learning, this will fit, and we're working together to do that. So that's kind of neat. But going back to the generator, I think it's a little low. So like if you're pulling into parking lots, or if you get on a dirt road or something, that may be an issue. You have to just be careful driving it. So
I think those are probably the biggest cons. I mean, obviously you're going to something smaller, so you know that your space is going to be limited, right? So just having to kind of maneuver around each other to get, what you need. But I mean, outside of that, again, you kind of know that going in. So
yeah, so I mean, that's something that you have to deal with. Coming into the campsite today at North Beach, I hooked up the water hose and I hooked up the electrical cord, and that was it. I was kind of like, Amy, I don't have anything else to do, because usually it sets me, usually it takes me about 15 minutes to set up, 15-20 minutes, where today it took me like less than 5 minutes. I was like, hey, we're done. The air conditioner's still going.
yeah, I think the only other con, we kind of talked about it a little bit, right, was the storage space. So, if we want to take chairs and like our little table to put outside, plus the black stone, then we're obviously going to have to get a hitch and a carrier to go on the back that kind of swings out to give us that, extra storage space for that.
Yeah, we have a couple in mind, so if we do get one, we'll do a video about that just to show you. But it's basically a swing away hitch with a trunk attached to the back bumper. It has a 2.5-inch trailer hitch, like most vehicles, and our particular model pulls up to 3,500 pounds towing.
So I think if we look at the pros to it, as Mark kind of alluded to earlier, the setup was really easy. It really took less than 5 minutes. One of the reasons why we went with this particular model is Mark kind of talked about the wet bath is nice, but we're not really going to use the cassette toilet. It just, I don't even know. That just, so, but for us,
having a shower is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And it does have a hose out there that you can spray off too. And
yeah, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But for us, I think the biggest part of why we chose this model over the other model that Thor has to offer is the air conditioner. This has an air conditioner that sits on the top of the van, versus the other model had an air conditioner that was kind of down here in the bottom on the floor. And for us, it just didn't make sense.
No, I don't see how that would. You'd have to move it around or something. I don't know. And then with the other model, it had we did like the I don't know what you call it,
the tent pop up.
The tent pop up. I mean, it would be, I think it's up to 500 pounds. So me and Amy could easily get up there, stretch out, and lay out like a regular bed, or Charlie, our grandson, if he came with us. But I just have fear of like leaking, and then with a solar panel up there, and then if we wanted to get a luggage rack installed later on up on the roof, it just seemed like a lot of issues. So we went with this model here. So, but I think those are all the cons.
Yeah.
There's many pros that we want to talk about, and I think the first pro for me is that, one, it's going to cost a lot less money everywhere we go. One being storage, where we had to pay monthly payment to store our camper somewhere else, because where we live, we're not allowed to have a camper in there. Now with this van, we're able to park it in our driveway, which gives us 24 access to it. We can load it up, we can plug it in, get the refrigerator going, get the batteries going, all those different things. And it's just more beneficial to us. And then like our planned trip to Acadia National Park in Maine in the 1st of September of this year, just by cutting out the hotels that we originally planned on staying at, I think she said somewhere in the ballpark of $2,000, maybe more, parking, camping at a campground, as opposed to paying for some big resort or even a smaller hotel franchise. So just those things, those couple of things themselves, plus the gas mileage. we get a lot more. We're not towing the camper. We're not putting wear and tear on our Jeep Gladiator, which is really good because we like to keep that vehicle forever. We really like it.
Right, so another big pro about this van is that because it is so small and compact, then it fits in any parking space. So we stopped at Publix on the way here to pick up the groceries. We were able to get those, put those right in here. The fridge was already cold. In the old travel trailer, it took forever for the fridge to get cold enough to put stuff in, and the parking was always a nightmare when it was still hooked up. So that definitely is a big pro.
It took forever. We would not have a refrigerator until the second day of camping. So we would go there, park it overnight, and we'd have to get a cooler or something full of ice to keep everything cold. The refrigerator, I think it runs on
the battery.
Both batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you start the engine, it's charging, or if you're using the camper battery, it's charging. So that's a big plus. So yeah, like Amy said, the driving is just, it's awesome. It doesn't drive bad at all. And when you're parking, it has a backup camera that guides you in there as long as you follow the little path and take your time backing up. It's a little freaky, a little sketchy on the freeway still to me, just because it has a little play in the steering wheel. By the time we got here, I was like, this is awesome to drive. So that's good.
Yeah, so I think another pro for us is that before with the travel trailer, you really didn't have an opportunity to do any boondocking or anything like that. So you pretty much had to drive straight to where you were camping. With this, it gives us the opportunity to boondock if we want to, because we do have the cassette toilet. If we really wanted to use it, we could. But the generator was a big thing. And I know you get those in Class B Plus and Class C's, but again, coming from a travel trailer to a Class B, definitely a plus.
And also, like our first trip, like I said, we're going to Maine, to Acadia National Park. And that's a long drive. I think it's
21 hours.
21 hours, maybe more, because we're going to make stops along the way. You can park at a Lowe's, you can park at a gas station, a Cracker Barrel, a Walmart, or anywhere on the side of the road and just fire up the generator. And as long as you got gas in the tank of your van, the generator's going to work, and you can just sit there and chill out and rest for a while, and no worries, and then get right back on the road.
I think another pro is that because the camper vans are obviously more than the travel trailers, then you're able to finance those for 20 years versus 10 years. So it kept our payments relatively the same to what we were paying before. Plus we lost the storage fee that we were paying because now we park it in the house. So that definitely was a plus as well.
Okay, so these are some of the pros and cons so far. Again, this is only our first trip, and it's only a weekend trip to North Beach and St. Augustine. We, by no means, are experts at van life, but we hope to be soon. That is going to be a long trip in September to Maine. We're going to make stops along the way and stops along the way back. We're going to be camping along the way. So hopefully you will subscribe to our channel. Like this video if you like it, if it's informational to you. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure that you put those below.
And we'd love to hear those.
Yeah. If you'd like to take the tour van, I did make a video on that. And we'll put a card right here. And also we'll put it in the description below for you to click on. Yep. So, yeah.
Tate out.
Thanks for watching. Tates are
Tate out.
You've been watching Tates Travel, and Tates are out.